City. This is Nightline, May 23rd, 2007.
Good evening. It's a question that most parents ask almost from the moment their baby is born. When should we start formally educating our child? With an eye to the future and the ever more competitive college admissions process, many parents are looking for any possible way to get ahead of the competition, to give their child an advantage. And some believe that means starting as early as possible. On the leafy outskirts of Philadelphia, the sound of violins echoes around a beautiful campus. The performance is near perfect, but these are no ordinary musicians. They're all children. This is the so-called Institutes for the Achievement of Human Potential, a controversial centre for child development led by Janet Doman.
The baby will learn faster than the 4-year-old, the 4-year-old will learn faster than the 8-year-old, you will learn faster than grandmother, but you're all going to learn.
Twice a year, the Institutes holds an intensive week-long course to teach eager parents how to unlock their child's potential.
I'd like you to just write your child's name down.
And some have travelled quite a distance.
I'm from Colombia.
I'm from India.
Philadelphia, PA.
From Thailand.
And I'm from Honduras, but we live in Saudi Arabia.
In Sarasota, Florida, Lisa Merman is a stay-at-home mum who wants the best education possible for her children, 3-year-old Ella and 2-year-old Gabriel. She's already started speaking to her children exclusively in Spanish. She's not a native speaker, but wants her daughter Ella to be bilingual. Lisa heard about the Institutes from a family friend.
Everyone knows that those first few years are such an amazing opportunity to stimulate them in positive ways.
Michelle Senk was a full-time chiropractor from Pittsburgh, but has recently cut back her hours to spend more time with 3-year-old daughter Layla. She too is looking to give her child that early educational edge. Would you describe yourself as having high expectations for your daughter?
No, I just want to give her the best opportunity it is, and I really feel that it makes life easier. The more you know, the earlier that you know.
The Institutes was founded over 50 years ago by Janet's father, Glenn Doman, a physical therapist by training.
Every child born has at the instant of birth a greater potential intelligence than Leonardo da Vinci ever used.
The Institutes makes extraordinary claims. It offers a program in which they say children with genetic abnormalities such as Down syndrome can be taught, in many cases, to perform at peer level or above. And another program for healthy kids that can multiply their intelligence. And there's no shortage of takers.
Rolled into the flowers with dances and delight.
Mr. Dolman and his great staff hold the key to what perhaps may be one of the future of this country and every country.
On day 4, the Institutes wanted Michelle and Lisa to experience how to creep, crawl, and swing like a child. All part of an approach that enticed these two mothers who say they shelled out $1,100 each to join the latest intake of parents.
Once you see the impact of starting as early as possible, because your child's brain is growing substantially between the ages of 0 and 5, that's the incentive.
Everybody wants to give their child opportunity and give them a head start before school. Why wait until then?
Michelle and Lisa are learning how to teach their children mind and body. The Institutes recommends the use of these cards.
Grapefruit, look at this. Lemon.
By using them in quick succession, they claim that parents can begin the process of teaching their infants to read, toddlers to speak foreign languages, Gain encyclopedic knowledge.
Tyrannosaurus as a diplodocus type.
And see numbers as actual quantities through dot cards rather than as symbols.
And see only the truth, while we adults will actually have to count it up.
The crowd halted its...
Cacophony.
You'd like cacophony there?
The 8-year-old, she was reading words that I didn't even know. I'm so embarrassed. The biggest impact for me today was when I saw the children. It was amazingly humbling.
Do you want to do the K?
These children have come of age in what might be called the baby genius culture.
Susan Gregory Thomas has studied the growth of preschool programs and resources over the last decade. The industry is now worth $20 billion a year, and she says it has tapped into the natural anxieties of parents.
What people got into their minds, parents, who was really playing on parental fears, is that if you did not act between the ages of 0 to 3, the foundations for math, the foundations for language, for foreign language, aptitude for any number of skills and talents would be lost.
All kinds of educational tools and courses are now available for preschool children.
Little kids don't suffer fools. If they find us to be foolish, yeah, they will stick it to us.
And the Institute's program is one of the oldest and most controversial. The World Authority on Child Development is deeply critical of the Institutes for the Achievement of Human Potential, which he has been tracking for 30 years, along with other intensive early learning programs.
It's a very sad development, both for children and for parents. It's the result of a very human impulse that parents have, which is to do all they can for their children. They don't realize that less is often more.
Dr. Edward Ziegler is Emeritus Professor of Medicine and Psychology at Yale University and also one of the architects of the Head Start program. He's especially opposed to the use of flashcards in early learning, which he says can harm a child's natural desire to learn.
You're actually hurting the child's potential through this procedure, so we call it drill and kill. You kill motivation to learn, which is innate.
How does that happen?
I'm not doing what I want to do, so I become resentful, hostile, angry. When you're in that mood, you don't learn very much at all.
The Institute's director says these are not flashcards, but rather bits of intelligence, insisting children find them joyous and not tedious.
I do confer upon Michelle Senk the certificate in child brain development at the professional mother level.
But despite the criticism, Michelle and Lisa graduate enthusiastically from the institutes. And like thousands of parents before them, they're now ready to return home and start teaching their children.
Yeah, it's done. I feel completed. Ready to move on and get started.
We asked Michelle and Lisa to document the first 6 months on the program with their home video cameras.
Are you getting them all?
Michelle Senk returns home to Pittsburgh just in time for daughter Layla's 3rd birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Layla.
According to the Institutes, it's now down to Michelle to move her daughter forwards along the pathway of learning, and she's highly motivated.
I knew that it's best to give them as much input as possible, as early as possible. I wasn't really aware of how much they could learn so early.
Okay, Norway, tack and stamp.
Michelle uses the cards as recommended by the Institutes, spending countless hours preparing. Was your husband supportive of the idea?
Not in the beginning, not at all. He thought I was crazy. But when I brought it home and started doing it with her, he just thought it was amazing, and it's just really made our family even closer.
Jay.
I would do it throughout the day, and by the next day, she would know every single one of them.
Layla, come on, honey.
We went outside, and she was showing me and telling me what birds they were. Things that you wouldn't really think, the downy woodpecker. I mean, what child knows a downy woodpecker?
From learning single words, Michelle says Layla has now graduated to entire languages.
And I've been studying Japanese lately.
You've been teaching her Japanese?
I've been trying. I'm not very good at it.
Why do you want to teach her Japanese?
She loves it. She has fun with it. That and Spanish. Those are her favorite.
So Layla is now 3, and she's speaking 3 languages.
And Thai.
And Thai.
From our au pair, she taught her Thai.
We return now to a controversial learning center that says parents should begin educating their children from a very young age. One mother who took a course there now goes home to put the theory into practice. In Sarasota, Florida, Lisa Merman has also started employing the methods of child development she learned from the institutes.
Today I'm going to introduce you to the kids. This is Gabriel. He is 1.5. And this is Ella, and she is 3.
Banana, apple, orange juice, grapes, caracol, langosta.
In addition to Spanish, Ella has started learning Mandarin.
We're going to be taking you to the Chinese New Year celebration where Ella is going to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and Happy New Year.
Even singing on stage earlier this year at a local Chinese New Year celebration.
That was amazing. And she loves to go to Chinese class. And all of those people were her friends, all of the girls that and boys, there's a couple of boys in there. You know, it's just a very healthy thing. She enjoys it.
While all of this seems highly impressive, is it necessary for parents to teach their children so young?
Do you want it in English or in Spanish?
In Espanol.
And will these early achievements mean anything in later life? One of the world's foremost experts is adamant that this approach is unnecessary. Are they missing out by not using flashcards or not teaching them a foreign language or not giving them a musical instrument? Are they in danger of missing that critical opportunity?
First of all, there's a lot of critical opportunities. The brain isn't done. The kid doesn't have his frontal lobes until he's about 18, 19, or early 20s. There's plenty of chances. Never give up on a child. If you will do just these normal interactions that we've talked about and take your lead from the child and learn to read the child's cues and follow his lead, that child is going to do just fine. And we do not know of any kind of input that will make that child better.
And there's nothing we can do for our under 3s that will somehow improve their IQ and give them a better future.
Your final intelligence is due to an interaction between the genes that you inherit and the environment that those genes encounter. Provide as fine an environment for the child as you possibly can, but all a fine environment is a kind of a normal, loving relationship. And if you do that, that child will develop all the intelligence that child is capable of having.
But these parents remain convinced that their children are being given the best start in life.
She's very independent. If she wants to find out something, she'll go look at or ask me questions and things like that. And I know when I was a child, I would never do that. I would just wait and see what the teacher would tell me and just go from there. I think that just gives you a better opportunity.
So, to some extent, do you regret perhaps your own experience of education and you don't want that to happen to Layla?
Some of that. I think some of it. I wish I would have known now, even as a child, then what I know now.
Would it concern you that there's never been any kind of external, objective, controlled, scientific trial of the methods that are promoted by the Institute?
No.
You're not, that wouldn't concern you?
No, because I'm teaching them languages. I'm teaching them music. I'm teaching them about the world.
We had planned to include an interview with Janet Doman, director of the Institutes for the Achievement of Human Potential, but last week she cancelled our scheduled filming, saying she didn't like some of the questions we'd asked the mothers we profiled. She did, however, provide us with a letter vigorously defending their program's value to young children.